people, they were texting me, you just won 1.8 million and you don't fly private. This is not what I did. This is not, and I think you need to follow what is right for you. It's not, the right thing is not what everybody else does. What is authentic to you?
Welcome to Fourball. I'm your host, Travis Miller. Today we have a great guest, 23 worldwide victories, two-time major champion, and legend in the Ryder Cup, clinching point at Medina. We've got Martin Kaymer, captain of Gleeks GC. How are you doing today?
Good. Happy to be in England.
Yeah.
Last year, that was our first event here from Live Golf. And we came a long ways for 12 months.
Absolutely. Came full circle. It's exciting to be back, and excited for the energy this week. So walk me through your game right now and kind of what you're up to. How's your game coming along?
I'm okay, happy, I would say, with my game right now, because some people know, I had surgery in November last year in Saudi, and my second round that we played, I got that injury in my wrist and I need to sort it out.
Yeah.
Something I had trouble with for the last 3-4 years. So on one hand, it was a blessing, to get it done and start over again. Trying to come back now from that. I've been playing proper golf again last 6-7 weeks, pretty much. So I'm still trying to find my groove, but it's also exciting, to work on things again and see, how much you can develop again. So it's exciting, and this year it's going to be one of those years where I need to fight through it. Maybe I will have some good finishes, but it's inspiring. I'm 38. I won a bunch of tournaments in my career, but I want to go further.
Yeah, feeling rejuvenated. So you feel like you're back almost to 100% with the pain. Just now it's part of getting the game back in order.
In tournament rounds, I still take some painkillers that I don't react to the pain in the impact position.
Sure.
But I would like to spend more time practicing.
Okay.
But I can only do maybe 2 hours a day
Yeah.
to manage the inflammation. So this is still a little bit, but I need to be disciplined.
Yeah.
And I need to accept it how it is, and I try to really I try to make it quality, those 2 hours, and then I leave. I need to be disciplined with that.
Yeah. So Martin, you've had such a great career, and we'll get into some of the accolades, but when did you actually pick up golf, and what got you into the sport?
I was 10 years old or 11 years old. My dad, he was gone for some weekends, pretty much all day, and my brother and me wondered where he went. And then he took us to a public range one day, and at the beginning I didn't really like golf because it was so hard.
Yeah, it's very hard.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's for a child, you don't really have the patience to stand there for half an hour, 45 minutes and figure out a grip and stuff like this. So I was playing football at the same time. It was more action, and that's what we do in Germany. But then after a while, you become better and better. We spend a lot of weekends as a family together playing golf. I competed against my older brother, which, helped me. And then after a while, you figure out, I'm not that bad at that sport. And you start winning tournaments. And then last couple of years of my school, I was barely in school. I was just playing golf tournaments and going on golf trips with the national team. And and then when I was 20, I thought, I give it a go, give it a good chance. And my parents said, we can finance your golf trips maybe for 2 years. But it was important for me that I don't need the money from them, So I worked very hard in the winter.
Extra motivation.
Yeah, because it feels bad, Imagine if your parents, they work all their life and they never go on vacation. They just save their money for the kids.
Yeah.
I know that's what you do when you have children, but still doesn't feel great as a child. So I worked really hard, and then fortunately I never needed any penny.
Yeah.
I could pay for my own trips pretty much from the beginning of my career, and
what was the moment where something clicked for you where you said, like, hey, I am good at this, and hey, I want to go all in and commit? And did your dad coach you along the way early on, or did you step into a regular coach fast?
No, the first 3-4 years it was my dad who helped me, but just on the basics. And then when I was 13, 14, we had like a little outing for the region. I don't know how it's called, but the best kids, they come together, and then the coach, who is still my coach today, he walked by, he saw me, and then I got that spot on his team, and since then I work with him. But the first time I noticed that I can actually maybe make that as my job one day.
Yeah.
When I won the qualifying school in 2005, the first stage in Germany, then I went through the second stage easily, and then we went to Spain for the final stage. You know, I felt like I think I'm better than most of the guys here.
Yeah.
I just need to do the right thing, and I need to be disciplined. And if you're not distract yourself from where you want to go, then should be a good possibility.
Yeah, I mean, distractions is key. I mean, golf is it's so hard, like you said, and it's like you got to put so much work into it and patience, and to have that at a young age, is difficult. So,
but still now,
yeah,
still now,
yeah.
But this is, it doesn't really feel like hard working. It's the passion. You just follow your passion.
Yeah.
Even when I was 17, 18, 19, I went in the winters. I went to Scottsdale to practice on my own. I didn't speak English. I had very, very little money.
Yeah.
I ate 4 or 5 times. I ate spaghetti with some ketchup in the evening because I didn't have money to buy something else.
Yeah.
And I had $25 a day, and I used it every 3 or 4 days to pay the cart fee to play a golf course. And the rest I was just practicing and hitting golf balls for hours on the range. And this was, back now I think that was my discipline. But back then it was just what I wanted to do. It was just a passion. I just followed what I like to do. So I was never the party guy who went out Fridays and Saturdays. I want to be on the golf course. And then can't be that wrong for you.
Yeah. Well, it turned out well for you. 23 worldwide victories, 2-time major champion, PGA, the U.S. Open, Ryder Cups. I mean, that putt was a dagger as an American. It was a dagger in the heart, that comeback, but incredible, the energy that you guys had. I mean, you've had so many accolades in your career, and hopefully more to come in the future. What would you say stands out most to you? What's the most rewarding thing that you've accomplished on the golf course?
I would like to say the number 1 in the world. That was quite big because it shows the consistency of good play over a long time or a long period. But I was very, very proud of how I won the US Open in 2014. When I got asked after the practice round where I see the winning score, I think I said something 3 or 4 over par. And I think in the end, the second just finished level par or one under or something.
Yeah.
So I wasn't that far off, but I forgot about myself. I was surprised how well I played the golf course.
Yeah.
I mean, I was 10 under par after 2 rounds, and obviously I played well, but I putted really well. And this was the playing part. But mentally, it was so nice how I handled the weekend, because I didn't compare myself to Thursday and Friday. I didn't try to compete against the other guys. I was just trying to play 36 holes on a golf course that I like, that I enjoy. But I wanted to move forward. I didn't want to defend the shots that I had gained on the field. I wanted to extend them. I need to play my own tournament. And this is very easy said than done, but I was very proud of how I handled the Saturday and Sunday. Sunday I played with Ricky Fowler. Obviously he was the local favorite. He's American. We played the US Open.
Yeah.
But then after 9 holes, the fans, they really respected how well I played. I had a good time with Ricky. We had a great battle. I think in the end he also finished second.
Yeah.
So it was a great week, and I was proud of how I handled the weekend.
Yeah. How do you shut out the distractions? Because Ricky Fowler, he's had recent struggles. Just won recently again, just to get back into the mix of stuff. But he's always been a fan favorite, and so being in the States and in the U.S. Open, I'm sure that was tough. I'm glad to hear that the fans started gravitating towards you, towards that back 9. But how do you shut out the noise? And beyond that, I mean, media attention during a major championship. I mean, just to keep, dialed in and kind of keep the shutters on.
Well, I was very focused all week. I didn't listen to any of the media stuff. I didn't watch the Golf Channel in the evening to see the highlights. I didn't watch it in the mornings. I really tried to keep that separate. Fortunately, my brother was at that tournament. We shared a room, so I had a lot of distraction from him that I didn't even feel like I wanted to do something else.
Yeah.
It was just one of those weeks where I had a lot of peace around me. I was very calm, and I enjoyed playing that golf course. I just won the Players Championship a couple of months before, so I had enough confidence. So even after those 10 under, after those two rounds, the first 2 rounds, I didn't feel like, oh wow, I didn't expect that. Because I played well recently. I knew I was in good shape, so I just wanted to keep going. And the media attention is always something that I kept it very plain. I just answered. I didn't put much judgment into most of the stuff, and I just wanted to get onto Sunday, and then obviously the tension releases, and you can let go of all the emotions. And so it was a big week. Yeah.
Had you played Pinehurst before?
No, but I know we're gonna go next year again, so I'm excited about that one.
No, it was great. I mean, you putted phenomenally that week. It was like no one even had a chance to catch up to you after you got that fast start. So it was incredible.
I even putted around the bunker.
Yeah.
One hole I putted around the bunker there was the mental side of me that I was very proud of. A lot of, I mean, even now when I think back, I think some people might have been embarrassed, to putt around the bunker. But I didn't really care. That was my best way to make bogey.
Yeah.
I put myself in a really bad position. You can make a big number there easily.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, just putt around the bunker, make 5, and then I buried the next hole. It's all good.
Yeah.
So I was in control, of my game, and of my the mental aspect was quite solid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, us amateurs say that all the time. There's no pictures on the scorecard, but I mean,
no, they aren't.
Yeah. That's great. So I mean, as far as your other major championship in the PGA, go to a playoff against Bubba Watson. You came out on top. Have you and Bubba ever connected or talked about that playoff now that you're both here on Live?
No, we haven't really. I always wanted to ask him. We were in a similar situation in the playoff on the last hole. It was a three-hole playoff. He started birdie. I birdied the second hole, and then we're pretty much all square on 18 again. We both missed the tee shot in the right rough. I had no chance. I had to lay up in Whistling Straits, and he was a little bit behind me, and he went for the green. And for me, it's almost impossible to see how you can get on the green. So I always want to ask, we're asking for a flyer, or what were you looking for? Because it's cool, to talk about things like this. But there was also another one that, that week, my main goal was just to get into the Ryder Cup team. I didn't even think about winning the PGA Championship because I've never been in contention.
Really? Okay.
I was never been in contention at the major.
Yeah.
It was just my second or third year playing majors. And the main goal is trying to get on that Ryder Cup team in Wales. So that meant I need to make the cut and maybe finish top 40 or so. So then after Saturday, I was in a good position. I think Nick Watney was leading by 6 or 7 shots.
Yeah.
So that's why, you don't really think about winning, especially if you've never been up there. But then after 6 holes, I was leading. And then I said to my caddy, we can also try to win now.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, fortunately, we went to a playoff, and it all went well. And I think Bubba won the next year the Masters, or 2 years later.
It worked out for Bubba just fine. So
yeah, he's okay.
Yeah. You talked about avoiding media attention and all that stuff when it comes to the major championship. When you won the Players a few months prior, there was a picture of you sitting on the airport floor charging your phone, I believe, that went viral on social media, and everyone loved to see that. I mean, what was your reaction to that viral moment, or did you even think through that at all?
Yeah, a lot of people, they were texting me, you just won 1.8 million and you don't fly private. This is not what I did. This is not, and I think you need to follow what is right for you. It's not, the right thing is not what everybody else does. What is authentic to you? And of course, I don't want to sit on the floor and charge my phone at the airport, but that was the only way.
Those floors are dirty, but I get yeah.
But yeah. I think it's very important to stay true to yourself. And obviously now, things has changed as well a little bit. I was, how old was I? Maybe 27, 28 years old. You don't think about that. You just do what is right in that moment. And again, I'm there to play golf. And that's what I like.
Well, I mean, that says a lot about you. And let's learn a little bit more about you off the course. In Adelaide, you played Tina Turner's song "Simply the Best," which is an incredible song, by the way. What are some songs you listen to, or music or movies that you enjoy when you're not playing golf or prepping for golf?
Well, I mean, if you go back to Tina Turner's song, there's just, I don't know anyone who doesn't like this song.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
It's pretty. It's a song that a lot of people give strength. It gives you strength. It gives you inspiration. It's quite a emotional song. if you listen to the lyrics, and unfortunately, she just passed away this year.
Yeah.
So I think it will become an even bigger song. But I like to listen to soft rock sometimes, those kind of songs. I don't know, it has to have a meaning.
Yeah.
I'm not those techno songs.
Okay,
That's
you're
not
not
me.
into that.
It
Okay.
doesn't have much to do with music, if you
I'm
ask
not
me.
either.
But,
No. Yeah.
so it needs to have a meaning.
Yeah.
So, yeah, movies. The Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
That's a
a
good
great
one.
movie. Yeah. That's great.
It has to tell a story that you can transform, maybe that gives you something, like a learning aspect. Like a Terminator is not really the movie I watched.
Like give you some quick,
but I like the
entertainment.
guy.
Yeah.
I like Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
So it has to have a meaning but obviously not always, but in the best case, yeah.
Yeah. What hobbies are you into, or where do you find enjoyment off the course? I know you spend a lot of time, and I think for the average fan and viewer, they don't realize quite how much time you spend on a course. My time around events, I see the work that you guys put into it, not only in practice rounds, whether it's 9 or 18 holes, but going back to the putting green, going to chipping area, on the range hitting balls. So you're on the course constantly, and I'm not quite sure you guys could be able to shut it off when you go home and not think about it, because there's so much that you're working on. But what do you do to escape? Like, what are the hobbies that you enjoy?
I think it's very interesting to find, or it's very difficult to find a way to get away from the sport, because somehow you're always in it. Everything you do, you feel like, maybe even the subconscious, is that good for me when it comes down to golf? Obviously now my hobbies has changed. I have a family now, so I like to spend time at home, with the little one in the garden. I like the gardening. I like to see, now we're putting out a nice backyard, how plants, trees can work together. I like to create something beautiful, because you go out every day and see your garden, and if you can create it yourself, I enjoy that. I talk a lot to the gardeners about it. But as you mentioned, when you play golf, you go into nutrition. How can I travel better? Or when do I sleep when I go through jet lags? So there's always constantly you're working on improving. How can you optimize? How can I be in best shape on Thursday or Friday, whatever tour you play? You're always thinking about it. Putting, chipping, driving. How can I change my body? How can I hit the ball more solid or further, or whatever it is? So it's very difficult to escape from that sport when you're so passionate about it. But that's why it's so intense sometimes.
Yeah.
Because there's never an off. Even, our tour, our season will be done by the end of October. So it gives you 4 months until the next season starts again. So you're already planning, okay, how can I use that time to be even better prepared for 2024 than I was for 2023? So constantly you're doing this, and I enjoy this. Some people say, you need to shut off in order to find a balance, but I feel pretty balanced. I'm fine. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty. I think it's a nice change of pace with what you have here now, with a little bit of an off season to change the gears. I mean, now being a new father, congratulations, and I mean, to spend some time with family. That's a new thing for golfers. Usually, it's every single week, or I mean, you can pick your schedule, obviously, right? But schedule's usually not necessarily lines up favorably for everybody.
Well, a lot of people say that, you could do the same thing when you play on the European Tour, on the PGA Tour, but if you don't start early enough on those tours, let's say, PGA Tour starts, I don't know, I think late September, October, already the next season starts, and as a European, if you live in Europe, you're already all year in America, and you need to have some time off. But if you don't start in October, November, December, you're always behind. So there's constantly that mind game and the pressure that was always difficult for me. And playing live now, you know exactly where you play, when you play, how I can prepare, how can I practice, and some people say you don't feel ready because it's not enough tournaments. You don't feel prepared also for major championships. But I think the opposite. I think, of course, I'm prepared because I have enough time to practice and get ready for events. And if I want to throw in a tournament or a few more rounds, in my case, I just play with my friends.
Yeah.
That's enough for me, personal. I understand that some people need the tournament action and the tournament pressure, but I think it's a really nice schedule with the majors that we can play. And in my case, hopefully next year going forward to play 2 tournaments in Germany, I will have 18, 20 tournaments, and I think that's a very nice schedule.
Yeah, that's plenty.
Yeah,
that's plenty going on. So stepping into this new role as captain, I mean, you've been a lot of Ryder Cup teams, and so you've been around that team environment. But what has changed for you in terms of approach and being a captain for the team, and also having people that come to these events with you that they rely on you, you rely on them a bit, and the whole format. I know people are getting generally more used to the team format and understanding of it. It's something that I myself, first couple times, I was trying to wrap my head around how it was working, where the impact was. But now it's quite exciting to see a player out of contention can really make a difference for a team on a Sunday, even though they might not personally win.
Yeah, I think at the beginning we all needed some time to get used to it. It's an adjustment, and as you said, at the Ryder Cup, we know it from the past how it works. But as I said to the other 3 guys in my team, the best you can do is take care of yourself. This was always what Ola Sabal, when we played the Ryder Cup in Medina, he says, the best you can do for the team is get out, be selfish, and get your point. Because this is the max you can do in this moment. And it's the same thing out here. But when it comes down to Sunday, for example, and you're out of contention of the tournament, you can still play a good round and contribute something to the team that might be vital in order to get up in the rankings. So, and that aspect we never had. Sometimes we played, Saturday, Sundays, in Germany we say the golden pineapple, for nothing really. But out here you play for something. Yeah. And you play for your teammates, and it's cool. When we finished, the cliques haven't really been successful, but we finished 3rd in Thailand last year, and it was such a cool feeling. I played okay the tournament, but we finished 3rd in the team competition, and Laurie Kenta, I've never seen that guy happier. It's cool.
Yeah.
It really is cool, and it doesn't replicate the Ryder Cup. I don't think so, but it gives you another aspect of playing the game of golf, which is cool that Liv created that possibility.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. It's starting it's slowly moving on, and it's something that I personally get excited about watching because it is fun to see. I mean, you can go out and have 2 poor rounds, and you're not playing for nothing, like you said. And Sunday, you can go out and shoot a 62 or 63 and get a podium finish potentially. And
the teammates love you.
It's fun seeing the guys celebrate. It's.
Well, I still wait for that, but
yeah.
I want to be on top there as well.
Hopefully soon. Hopefully you have a great second half to the season. So, all right. So let's move into this segment. So Fourball. The format of the show is this. So obviously you're the one player, but we talk about the dream Fourball that you would have. So you be the number 1 player, obviously. You have 3 players to choose. The first one is someone that's either close to you or someone that just generally that's that you'd want to play with. And so who would you pick to be the first member of your team that you'd want to have on your squad?
Well, I have my Fourball already, but I would love to play with Dirk Nowitzki.
Okay.
I mean, Dirk we were a little bit in touch in the past. Now, no, he's retired, but he did everything he could do in his sport.
Yeah, he did.
Very inspiring guy, very cool person, chilled, but very disciplined with his stuff. He came to America. I don't think he had much from home, but he came to America with his coach, stayed at Dallas for the whole time in his career, very loyal. But the way he always handled himself, also when he came to Germany, when he did some TV shows, he always went to TV shows who had class. Is a classy person, and this guy is very inspiring for me. And I would love to spend a little bit more time with him because that is such good energy.
Yeah. So I'm from Dallas, or I live in Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love Dirk Nowitzki. He's a legend. So
yeah, he's not only tall, but he's big in Germany as well.
Yeah.
And it's because this is what I think he has, that American German mix.
Yeah.
He has the coolness and the relaxed attitude like the Americans have, but he still has that discipline and respect and clear path of what we Germans try to. I think it's one of our strongest values. So, and I think he embodies that very well, and we are very proud of having such a great basketball player.
Yeah, no, he's very classy. I mean, he represented the Dallas Mavericks, like you said, for many years. Very loyal, stayed in the same team. They just put his statue in front of the stadium. I saw it just a few weeks ago. So, so you guys have met before. Have you played golf with him before? Or?
No, I haven't. No, he always complained about his knees. that he can't walk so long.
Yeah.
But then he was running on the court. So yeah, hopefully we can spend some time together. I don't know when, but I believe, if it's supposed to happen, then it will.
Yeah. I mean, he's 7'1", I believe. He's a tall guy, so I mean.
And what is he, 42?
Yeah.
Now, something?
Yeah.
And you got to give him a break. I mean, I saw him running. He did a commercial break in Germany, and I saw him running. Man, it doesn't look good anymore. It looks quite stiff.
Those guys in the NBA, they move quick. So all those years chasing them around, it's not easy. So have you ever sat courtside or close at an NBA game before?
Yeah, Phoenix Suns. I was invited, I think, in March 2011.
Okay.
I was #1 in February, and then I got invited to the Phoenix Suns, and I always wanted to go to a basketball game. I've never been to one.
Yeah.
And it was, quite sweaty.
Yeah.
You get a lot.
Move around.
Yeah, but it's cool. It was a good experience.
It's fun to see like a hockey game up close, guys hitting the ice, but yeah, and then obviously with you guys on the driving range, like hearing you guys hit the ball, it's just so different than what we experience as amateurs. But the NBA, it's amazing to see these athletes who are 6'8" or 7 feet tall, and Dirk's.
And how that body moves.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
They move like what we would expect a 6 foot basketball player to move.
But wouldn't you say those are probably the most athletic athletes in the world?
To me, by far. It's
maybe. I'm always between
maybe not
football
by far,
players,
but
football players and basketball players.
They're crazy athletic
for that height. I mean, the body has to go through.
Well, the way they dribble the ball too, it's pretty incredible. But Dirk is a great guy. Did you say there's anything that? I mean, his class is definitely right there, which you mentioned, but from his leadership traits, is there anything there that you've taken from him just in life in general, to be a father or just even in terms of being a captain now?
I think when they won the league, I think it was 15 maybe. When you should know.
They won a couple. It was, I think the first one was in the earlier 2000s, so like 2006 or 7 when they beat the Heat.
And the second one?
Yeah, I think that was a few years later. Yeah.
I saw, the way he celebrated. He was on his own. He just needed that space and there you can see how much effort and energy and love and passion he put into this project to win the championship. And this is inspiring because this gives you goosebumps, and it's a feeling that you can't really describe. You can't really put into words. And I know how it felt for me when Europe won the Ryder Cup in 2012, how I felt, how relieved I felt, and the pressure and my celebration afterwards. I would have never seen myself like this. And the way he also celebrated for himself in that moment right after, I could relate to this a lot. And it was in Germany, it was big. Obviously in America, or especially in Dallas, it was huge. But things like this, they're very special. And I would love to talk to him about something like that, how he felt in that moment. And where do you go from there? Because this is pretty much the peak. No?
Yeah.
So, and this was something I struggled with when I was the #1 in the world. Where do I go? Obviously, tournaments, you want to win more tournaments, and he might want to win more games, but still, deep down, it's difficult, to find another goal.
Yeah.
So
no, it is tough. So we'll try to get Dirk out to play golf with us sometime. Maybe come to one of the pro-ams.
Yeah,
we'll get him a golf cart. And those knees probably a little
bit
up.
True.
So
yeah.
So moving on to your next selection, this will be someone who's, let's call it master of their craft. Doesn't have to be someone in golf or in sports for that matter. Someone who's, the best at what they do. Who are you gonna add to the team?
Will Smith will be one of those guys.
All right. I love that.
I mean, he's a very good actor, but I think he's a very interesting person as well. I follow him on Instagram, and some of the stuff, is pretty cool. What he does is also a very inspiring person.
Yeah.
With a lot of depth, what he says.
Yeah.
Quite spiritual. So, I don't know much about acting skills, but I enjoy watching his movies. Sometimes they're quite hard. Sometimes they're quite inspirational. I forgot the name of the movie when he was with a little child trying to sell those computers or something.
The Pursuit of Happiness?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
So I feel like, he has all kinds of, he covers pretty much everything.
He can play pretty much every character.
Yeah, yeah. And then he did the crazy one when he had the superpowers and was flying around somewhere. And I believe he's a decent golfer as well.
He is. He seems he's very athletic, and he's kind of all around. He's kind of got all the talents that you can check off the list.
Inspirational. I would call him a very inspirational person. And I like to listen to his chats, his talks about random stuff in life that just happened to him, and he explains, as I said, it's very spiritual, and I enjoy this guy.
Yeah. If there's one movie that he's made that you would want to step in and have a supporting role or whatever, what would that be?
iRobot, I think.
iRobot?
Yeah, it would be pretty cool.
Okay.
I felt bad for the little dog though, when the German Shepherd died. But that was a cool movie. I like that one. That would have been a good. But I'm not a good actor, man. I play golf. Sometimes when
maybe we get you a role where there's no lines or something like that. Just have you be an extra.
Yeah. And we Germans are not meant to be very, very humorous. So I don't know. It has to be a quite stiff movie.
Yeah, it's funny thinking through all the movies that he's been in. It's incredible. They're all wide ranging.
Yeah.
So Legends of Bagger Vance. You've seen that, obviously.
When it was a caddy. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to maybe give Wee Man a week off and have Will in the bag, maybe?
I think he wouldn't do that bad. Yeah, imagine that, huh? Wow.
Yeah,
he will be caddying for me at the Pro-Am, and we're playing with Dirk.
Yeah, that would be pretty good, right? That would work out.
That would be cool.
All right, so last selection, someone who's in pop culture. I mean, Will fits that mold too, but someone else that's in pop culture, movie star, musician, who rounds out the Fourball in your group?
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart? Okay, this Fourball is
very unexpected. Eh?
Yeah.
No, but imagine that Fourball.
Yeah.
But he is just, I don't know, this guy just makes you laugh.
Oh,
he doesn't need to say anything.
Just thinking about Kevin Hart makes me laugh. Just the guy's incredible.
So the movies that he has done, especially with The Rock, those two together, I watch a lot of interviews when those two go into an interview.
They almost come in tandem, right? It's like, do we need The Rock to carry the bag for Kevin while he's
playing? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
No, but Kevin Hart, I like to listen to his, the stand-up comedian. That was pretty good, and then he makes a lot of fun of himself.
Yeah.
He's just a happy person. He seems like he brings happiness, good energy. It's like a Harold Warner.
Yeah.
Harold Warner, you want to have him at the table when you have dinner.
Never a dull moment.
Yeah, it's a fun person, and I think 18 holes with those three guys would be cool.
Yeah.
Harold now. Kevin Hart is. I don't know if he even plays golf. He needs short clubs, I guess. It's very opposite of Dirk.
I know. The height differential between Dirk and Kevin in this group is
that would be funny. And then the German in the middle here.
You got to see that picture.
So that would be my foursome, yeah. I think.
Do you like Kevin Hart, the actor, or more the stand-up comedian, or you kind of just all the same to you?
Kevin Hart also has something that Will Smith has. Some very spiritual character traits, I would say. When you listen to a lot of his interviews, he can also go very deep.
He can.
So he's not only the funny guy and who makes you laugh a lot. So I think you can learn a lot from him as well. But he has that ability to just switch and then is super funny, and it's just cool to have those people around who makes you laugh. Laughing is good for you, and in Germany we don't laugh much, so we need guys like that.
No, I mean it's fun to see. You're spot on with what you said about Will and Kevin. As funny as they are, as big of mega stars as they are, when you do hear them speak in interviews or on podcasts, they have a lot of depth to them and a lot of knowledge that they share that's very inspirational.
Especially where they come from.
Yeah.
That is cool, the journey that they went. And Dwayne Johnson's the same. They have similar journeys and they became those superstars. And obviously, at one stage, you live a different lifestyle, but I think they never forgot where they came from, and so to spend time with them, I think you get everything. You get the funny part, you get the smartness, you get the spiritual stuff. So that would be cool.
Okay, so let's round this out. So we've got Martin Kaymer, former world number 1, 2-time major champion. You've got Kevin Hart, one of the funniest people in the world, joining your group. Will Smith, one of the biggest movie stars. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I mean, this guy's a comedian himself too. I mean, he's hilarious. And then you got Dirk Nowitzki, NBA legend, and just all around great guy. I mean, what a great Fourball. So, and we'll have The Rock on the bag for Kevin Hart as well. So, add that into that mix. So I'm definitely going to be joining in, just riding along, just
I think a lot of people will
capturing some
watch.
content.
Yeah, a lot of people will watch that one. Yeah.
So last question, where are you putting this? Where are you guys playing and under what conditions?
You know, my favorite golfers in the world, we played last week in Spain, Valderrama.
Okay.
That would be pretty cool. I think.
What a beautiful course that
Yeah,
is.
but for amateurs, it's a beast. Yeah. I mean, for us, it's very tough.
Yeah.
But for amateurs, must be very frustrating.
Yeah.
So maybe we skip that one and we go to maybe we go to Whistling Straits.
Okay.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Whistling
It's
Straits.
not that easy of a course out there, especially with some winds, but
it's a bit more open.
Yeah, it is.
So you can spray it a little bit if you need to.
Yeah.
That would be quite nice, and stay at that hotel there. Spend some time with the guys.
Yeah, that would be great. Well, Martin, I appreciate your time and good luck the rest of the way. And it's always a pleasure.
You got it. Thank you.